Hey everybody, this is Ian Lowe of Lform Design, your B2B web design source. And I have my trusty sidekick, Jeff. How are you doing today, Jeff?
Doing pretty good.
Not overwhelmed by the beginning of the month or monthly
There's
meetings?
always a lot of meetings, 17 hours worth. So
That's a lot. I just had a few meetings this week so far, so a couple sales calls and Zooms, and quite nice to be back in the seat again since I was away last week. Anyway, so today we are reviewing Advanced Illumination. And full disclaimer, they're not a client of Lform, and I thought it would be a good site for us to review today. Oh, I apologize, Jeff. Why don't you explain to everybody who's a first-time viewer what you do here?
yeah, absolutely. So I'm Jeff Karomi, the art director here at Lform Design for 15 years. Been working in SEO, user experience, and interface design for our B2B clientele.
And I am just the trusty bottle washer here at Lform. No, I'm Ian Lowe. I'm the founder and head of sales. And I used to do a little bit of what you did, Jeff, back in the day. I'll be honest, I miss it from time to time. But that being said, let's jump right into this. So, 3-second rule. Let's start with you. What do they do?
So I think it's pretty clear. Precision LED lighting for vision and imaging. That's a pretty decent headline. It's very straightforward. Really does tell you exactly what you're talking about. You know, precision LED lighting, first line, then vision and imaging. So yeah, I think this one comes across very clear.
But my I guess rebuttal to that is, what type of LED lighting? Is it architectural lighting? Is it commercial, space? Is it residential lighting? Is it,
Mm,
they're talking about imaging, but you're not quite sure what type of imaging. To me, you see these flashing lights in this background video that's playing, and I'm not quite sure, who their target audience is not very apparent to me.
right. I think that's a fair point. I mean, vision and imaging, to me, that sounds that kind of sounds like any kind of businessy kind of laser and lighting stuff, right? So fiber optics possibly. Um, I think it feels kind of more businessy. I don't get any kind of consumer vibes. That's definitely for sure. But as far as some of the websites we reviewed, I think overall works pretty decently to get their at least some of the point across.
Okay. All right. So let's continue to go down this homepage and see what we find here. All right. So initial thoughts and feelings after we scroll, usually what we find with users, right, Jeff, is that they scroll about yay high and then they move on with their day or try to delve deeper into the site. So what do you think about this next section?
So I think it's pretty good. I mean, we have a headline here. It's not really, doesn't look like it could be used for SEO, maybe pumping some keywords into this, being a little more descriptive in that way. But it does allow you to kind of read this, skip over the text, which is what I always do, and then really get down to the directionals, which are all right. I would prefer this to be a little bigger, so it's a little large, a little more evident to the user. Because now we're really getting into, a little more specifics, right? Universal LED pad design, quality of OEM on demands, adaptive power and adaptive overdrive. So this is getting a little more specific into exactly what they're looking to get across. Um, and yeah, looking on their website, these are directionals. It's pretty evident they are. They got the green around them, so they do lead kind of into further pages. So that's good. Explore all products, and then even you have it. Your screen's pretty big, but even you've scrolled enough that we get a little logo graveyard. So all in all, with one or maybe two scrolls, depending on your screen size, I think you get a pretty okay view of places to go, things to look at, and a little bit of SEO proof down here.
Yeah, I mean, they're bolstering that they've worked with these clients. These are household brand names. So definitely, oh, I would definitely want to utilize their services. They've worked with GE, they worked with Ford. So they must be a good company, right? So I think ultimately coming back up here is that this is taking up way too much real estate for what it's showcasing. Users go about to here. I think ultimately they could probably move this, meaning this text below the directionals, below these big image buttons, and bring these back up towards the top. So essentially make this not as tall, not as high. It's an abstract background image, so you could probably have it go from this to not nearly as high as it is here. Be a little bit more descriptive about the call to action, the button, learn more about what am I learning more about? And then also, put the directionals further up on the page, throw this below the directionals, or if anything, I would say bring up these logos further up on the page, maybe even integrate them with this hero area, because again, you want someone to explore further, and it would definitely be impressive to see those logos. Oh, they work with Ford. Oh, I want to learn more about how they helped Ford or what products they offer, so I can get a better understanding of the items. So let's keep on going down. Let's not spend too much time here, though. All right, speak with an expert. I think that's really important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they do have that is a pretty classic CTA. You could call it out a little bit better. I think it's especially this text may not be the highest contrast green on gray. Overall, a nice CTA to kind of get people moving in.
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial if they took this button and put it up here, contact, speak to a sales rep. Maybe it doesn't have to be, it could be green and a button, maybe remove the search. Oftentimes what we find is that people generally go to your drop down menu to find an item, unless you have thousands of products. Then a search makes sense. If you only have maybe 100, which I'm guessing that they do, I'm guessing that they don't have thousands of products, then they could probably remove this product search and then, supplement it with a contact a sales professional, right? Because right away, I think they want to start, if they're really interested, path of least resistance. So, all right. So they have news here, the latest. So that's good. They're showing, and this looks relatively new. This is July. So less than a month ago. And food and beverage processors. So obviously this is a vertical or a potential vertical that they want to target. So that's smart on their part that they're highlighting that. And then they have a new product release. Again, maybe they should bring these items further up on the page, not, don't dedicate as much space here, but highlight some of the newness that's going on. And a leader in the machine vision. Okay, so it had been around for quite some time. That's good. So let's talk about, why don't you weigh in from here on down to the footer, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I like having blog information a little heavy on the this text here. You don't really need to bring this in as much it is highlighting the headlines. But overall, it's doing a pretty good job. I mean, at this point in a page, you're really only capturing kind of a few people, and you really have it for Google. So, if I move down on my screen, yeah, there's a couple items here. Definitely could have more information. I mean, at this point in the page, you do want kind of in about the company to get some more content on here. They do have a CTA at the bottom right below this area, but I'm not really sure what start your journey means. Sounds like a CTA, but when I look at it, it's linking to /products, which is not exactly what it's telling me where I would go. And then, the footer is a little bit crowded with a lot of different quick links and products and things like that, which would better be served to focus on a much more robust navigation menu.
I agree. Yeah, this is start your journey. What does that mean? Where does that take me? They do highlight a bunch of products down here in the footer, but does this footer need to be that robust ultimately?
Yeah, which actually kind of brings me up to even bigger problem. So these are their products, and if you scroll back up to those directionals, if those are products, if you scroll down to those directionals down here, now the finding the perfect product for your application, literally right below the hero image. So get off the menu.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What are these boxes? If you scroll just a little bit down, and keep going. What are these then? Are these not products? Starting to click into them. One brings me to a page. The other brings me to application notes. That's really confusing. I immediately thought, oh, well, these must be some of the products they have, because it also says explore our products, but it really isn't. So they would be better served to get rid of this entirely, move it down the page maybe, or segment it out into different sections that give you a little bit of information about each, and really bring your products in. That's what people are caring about. They want to know that you have at least the thing that you're saying that you have, and then they could look into more of that information. Right. It seems like they're kind of leading more with resources than they are with anything else. You click on one, it goes to a page innovation. Well, great. I mean, that's a pretty low bar to jump over. I really hope they innovate. And then I'm really confused about what application notes even means under news and events.
Yeah, it seems like these are kind of at random. There's no rhyme and reason to these boxes, these directionals as we call them. So
yeah, I would replace this entire section especially if you're talking about, or it says product, right? Finding the right light for your application. This is leading you to believe they're products and they're not products. So that would be, I clicked into one and I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. How do I find the products? And then I had to default by going up into the menu. So yeah, definitely bringing your products up top on the website would be very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's click on quality OEM. All right, so this is taking them to your blog. It says application notes, but LED color, temperature, machine vision, e-processing inspection. Yeah, this is more of like a list of articles.
Yeah, it's
Informative
interesting though.
Oh, and they're
Yeah,
old
absolutely. I'm not really sure why application notes would be what they call it. That's a confusing term. Never seen that one before. I mean, we talk about this with page naming, but if you have resources, you should name them resources. If you have a blog, you should name it blog or news or articles, to really make it clear. Application notes, I'm not even sure what that means. They do have multiple categories of application notes, I guess. So they do have quite a bit of content, which is excellent. But yeah, this definitely looks like a blog or a resources page to me.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to the home page. Let me just click. I did click on pre-engineered and then it did take me to a products area. Yeah, there seems to be a distinct disconnect between these directionals, what they're saying, and where it's leading you to, which needs to be corrected probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would say this is exactly what we talk about when we talk about user friction, right? Yeah. Now you're making someone work to have to see what you can sell them. And that's you could talk about it from a sales angle, but that's not probably the best sales tactic in the world.
No, it's definitely not. All right, so let's delve into the products. So one thing that they do correctly is the navigation. It's an on click. So is it a hover? No, it's an on click. So I physically have to click the button on my mouse for this to appear. So it's not a rollover, which is great for, you know, touch devices like the Microsoft Surface, the iPad. So that's good. Let's see here. So it looks like these are categories. Let's see if they are. Coaxial lights. Let's go there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there are subcategories of lighting. And
So
lighting is the only thing that has a subcategory.
so, and then they have some beautiful filtering here. So I'm assuming these are nanometers. The NM could be very wrong. All right. So if I want to look at 850 nanometer products, these are them. We have quick specs. Okay, so that's nice. And quickly I can let's see what happens if I like something. Add to your wish list. I can create an account. So that's nice. If I'm kind of browsing and trying to find products that I want to quickly add to a wish list, I can. Oddly enough, though, I think whenever we do B2B e-commerce like sites, no one seems to use the wish lists. So
Yeah, it's kind of a holdover from B2C kind of things. I mean, we've had more success that instead of a wish list, if you had some sort of quote functionality where you could gather up a bunch of favorited items and say, hey, here's the items I want, here's why we need them. Can you have sales contact me? Something like that.
add them to a cart, yeah, and then ask for a PO or I'm interested in, yeah. Exactly. All right, so let's go into a product detail. I'm liking the overall look though. It's very clean, this product listings page. Very clean, simple. The product photography is quite strong in the B2B world. We noticed that a lot of manufacturers have mediocre product imagery, and I think this is pretty good overall.
Yeah, I will say the one usability issue I'm seeing here is this quick specs popping up. It makes it
Hmm.
difficult. I immediately didn't even read it. I just clicked on it to go to the detail page, and then it
Mm.
didn't give me that. Remember, users will avoid reading whatever they can, right? If they see you roll over, it's a big green button. All right, I'm going to that page. Is quick specs useful? Maybe, maybe not. But that means this whole big directional you have right here. So this whole area, this is the area you have to click to get all the details. That's a
Hmm.
little, it's not a proper use of real estate. Um, Ideally, maybe if you wanted quick specs, I would make this whole directional area, maybe from here to here, minus the little favorite, all of that's clickable. And then maybe you have quick specs down here instead, kind of
Mm.
reversing it.
Oh, that's smart.
Um,
I like that idea.
that way it's available for whoever needs it, but you know, it allows you to kind of move into products because that's people are going to look at this and think e-commerce, click on it, goes to the product, things like that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it looks all right. I mean, nice use of white space. Again, yeah, product imaging is nice and clear. We do have SEO text on here at the top, which could easily be moved to the bottom. Google recently put out that this isn't useful anymore. Google prefers to get all of its information from whatever's actually listed on this page. So you
Hmm.
don't really need these areas that much. I think they're still useful. Um,
I agree. I
yeah, I
think,
mean,
yeah, I mean, this is explaining what dark field lights are, right? I mean, that for a layperson, I think this is
yeah.
extremely helpful. So,
Yeah, exactly. And you got to always remember there are going to be new people coming to your industry. There are going to be people reviewing your website just who aren't technical, who are, stakeholders, financial people, things like that. So there will be a segment of users that come to your website that are not technical, that don't know what this stuff is. So it is useful to have that. But overall, yeah, it seems like a pretty well structured product listing page.
yeah, click on the filters. It does not quite. Oh, there it goes. So the filtering is a little bit um, slow, but it does work, which is nice. All right, let's go into like aim dark field. Let's see here. All right, precisely. I'm just reading it's very short. Oh, they use an accordion. No, no,
And
no.
is yeah, true accordion. So I can even read
Oh,
two sections at once.
yeah.
Yeah, all
Ooh.
of this stuff should be broken out. If you're going to use accordions and you want to use them, have them expanded by default. That way someone can close them if they really want them. But the best option is to just not have them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely want to kind of put all this stuff on the page so someone can skim, someone can read. Really don't understand the kind of decision to have a description and a full description. Why not just bring all that stuff up here? It doesn't look like it's too much stuff. So
Agreed. I mean,
you know,
they could
you
do a
could
better job.
definitely, yeah, condense this, make it, use a better hierarchy.
It
We do have a
just,
lot of good information.
it's excellent information. They do a great job of putting, I mean, this is a image of a chart, but still, at least they have these charts available so I can quickly peruse this. But this is, I find this frustrating, right? All right, those are the control specs. Let me look back at the general set. Oh, wait, I can't look at the control specs now.
Yeah, and then what, were you on this one or were you on this one? Now you
Yeah,
have to remember. Again, you're making people work to get the information that they want. And that doesn't make people too happy.
does not make me happy at all. All right, so they have some old school. You can email this to somebody. Okay. No one seems to do that anymore. Most people just copy and paste the URL, but you have the print button. I think these are, this reminds me of the 2000s. We used to do a lot of this. I think more often than not, users are pretty advanced when it comes to using the web. So you don't, this is real estate that could be utilized for something else. We talked about the wish list earlier. Let's talk about configuring the site. You're being redirected. All right, what does that mean? Wait, I'm being redirected, but nothing happened. Ooh. All right, so this is very interesting, right? I'm clicking because I think I want to configure this. Maybe I want less LEDs, maybe, I want a different color. I don't know. I don't know lighting well enough, but this doesn't do anything. So this is,
So it has worked for me. It brings you to a third party, entirely separate domain name.
oh, interesting. What browser?
sl.advil.com. Okay, so it's like a kind of a large spec builder, but it is obviously a third party tool.
What browser are you using?
Firefox. I could link you to the page. I clicked on one of these.
All right. Yeah, no need. So it's obviously not working in Safari, which is a problem, right? Because there are people who are using as their default browser Safari, which is a Mac-based product. It's the default browser on Apple computers and also iPads and other Mac products, Apple products. So that is definitely a problem. I don't think it's, I definitely have the latest version of Safari. So that's not good. All right, let's see here. Learn more. Let's see, what is this? All right, custom products. All right, that's interesting. I'm kind of curious why they did that. This is kind of like just placed there. It's not a nice big button. Okay, custom product design available. Yeah, I want to learn more, but I had to find that. I really had to look for this. So ultimately, I think this needs to be similar in terms of making it a button so someone can actually click, then read more about this, and then obviously contact to start the sales process. So that's a little bit frustrating. All right, we're back to this products area. All right. Oh, interesting. So for accessories, they don't have a little description there. Let's go into one more category here. Let's go into, what are PCNS? Product change notifications. Oh, okay. We deal with a lot of manufacturers. I've never heard the acronym PCN. Have you?
Yeah.
You have?
I
Okay.
have not either. No, I haven't. I've
Okay.
never heard of that before. And again, why isn't this the name of what that is? You're assuming everyone knows what that is, but you may be, again, new to the industry. You may have English as a second language, in which acronyms, jargon are very difficult to parse for people like that. Especially if you want to say you want to sell internationally. You have to realize that people do not understand. English can be a very difficult language to understand. So don't assume acronyms or jargon will put out your message.
Agreed. Yeah. So let's see what is a PDF here that's a product change. That's a product change. Change notification. It's upgraded all right. So they did some upgrades and stuff. Interesting. I've never seen something like this before. I'd almost want to see if this. So if I look, can I look for this product? Let's look for this product. Let's see if the product search works too. All right. My curiosity is, did they on this product detail page say, hey, there's a change? No. Interesting. They also say it's in stock. So they have no note. They have no notice saying, hey, there's this change, recent change on this product. We did XYZ. Instead, you have to go to a different section, look at a different PDF file. Nah, this is no.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of different stuff happening on different pages. There's content missing. There's a lot of consistency issues within just the one drop-down menu, like products, right? You have lighting that has subcategories. You have main categories that have no subcategories. You have a compare lights by size with the spec comparison tool in your products area. That's more of a resource. You have 4 products here. Doesn't say why these are here. There's a lot of consistency issues that could just be fixed pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
These don't even go to a product page. It's very inconsistent, and inconsistency just breeds confusion for users.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, what are these featured pages? Like, what was the rhyme and reason between or highlighting these in the drop-down menu? I am royally confused. Like, are these new products? Are they featured products? Are they products that they, top sold products? Again, why have these over here? And then, like you said, they're taking us to more marketing pages. Still, like, very informative. I feel like they have a ton of information on this site. It just needs to be reorganized, right? Oh, interesting. I clicked clicked to view product information and opened up a new tab. Same website. I always find that kind of frustrating when someone forces me to open up another tab within my browser. It's not the end of the world here, but there's a lot, and that's so fun. So they have accordions on the product detail pages, right? Hidden information, and then they have this page, which is a ton of information, no accordions, which I prefer. But then there's a long page, so I need some type of navigational device for a page of this size, right? Like something along the top that, oh, here's the table of contents. Gosh, I missed it. It was right there. All right, so they did do a table of contents, but it's like massive. It's huge.
Yeah, and none of the design here says to me this is a link, right? There's some divider lines. They aren't underlined. It's just white text. Is it even clickable? Try clicking on one of them. See what it does. Does it bring you down the page?
It does.
So it is. Okay. So these could easily, those kind of anchors could easily just be more link-ish, right? Just let the user know that something's a button, something's a link. You want to use all the things that they expect, because this isn't a link, but it has the same style, little underline under it, and text that isn't colored. So again, it's kind of a little bit of inconsistencies is breeding a lot of confusion.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. All right.
I will say I did take a quick inspect, and it looks like most of the pages do have proper H1s, but I would like you to pull the inspect over for a little surprise.
All right, so we have an H1. What's that?
That is a code boilerplate.
Oh, look at that. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Yeah, that is that's an interesting choice because not only are you adding code to the website unnecessarily, it feels a little amateur.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know if they realize that they're giving free advertising to their web design company. Probably not. Anyway, I haven't seen this yet. I think I've seen this like I saw when I first started doing web design back in '99. People would do this type of stuff, but yeah, wild. Anyway, let's go back to good old SEO. So H1, good. They're using H1 for that page. Let's just go into a random page like mission. Whoa. Okay, let's see here. Just was greeted by that huge. All right, so that's nice. That's H1. Let's go into a product detail, where it's really kind of important. Let's go into like you're right, that quick specs button is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it starts getting in your way, doesn't it?
It does. Totally gets in your way. All right, let's inspect this. All right, so that's an H1. Great. Let's inspect that, see what that is. That is a nothing. So just a div. I would make that like H2, H3. See here. Let's inspect that. It's an H3. Okay, that's good. They're making that an H3. That's really good. All right, so from an SEO perspective, coding perspective, SEO coding perspective, I think they did a good job. So the code
Maybe
looks,
this does seems like a lot of nested divs here, but
oh,
I would I would default to our
developer.
head of operations and developer Brandon Fenning on that kind of recommendation.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad actually. I mean, it's been a long time since I coded. It's interesting. They're using columns, div column. I have a gut feeling they're not hand coding this. I think they're probably using some type of visual
Framework.
builder. Yeah, framework or visual builder. That's my gut, but could be wrong. It's odd that they put all this JavaScript. Usually you load JavaScript using a separate page. They have a lot of scripts just kind of thrown in here. So I'm not quite sure why they did that, but okay. Let's X out of this. So I think let's go into the contact us page, one of the most important pages. All right, let's see if we click contact. Oh, interesting. All right, so they have the general contact, right? There's their telephone number. You can email them, but if you want to contact customer support, it takes you to a different page, which is not bad. Contact sales, different form there. Contact application lab. Interesting. Okay, so they have different forms for different types of users, which is good. Let's see, look at the contact form, name, last. Okay, and it's not a huge form, so it's not overwhelming. They do have a blog. They have testimonials and case studies. All right, let's go into there. Exceptional service. And the case studies I would have made the case studies a separate section. I would have removed it from the testimonials.
Yeah, just from an SEO perspective and from a site structure perspective, that would make a little more sense to me. Yeah, quite a bit here, but again, look how inconsistent. This doesn't look anything like the website we were just on.
Yeah, looks very different. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a lot of time was put into this page and not a lot of time was put into even the homepage. So again, I think that's, that kind of leads me to my verdict on the website, but this is just very inconsistent.
agreed. Yeah, and I like the fact that they're obviously active. We have March, 2 blogs in March, or 2 articles in March, 1 article in July. So they're getting stuff out there, which is good. They're not just looks like 3 so far in 2022. There's a few in 2021. So, for a mid-market manufacturer, it's not bad to say the least. Let's talk about overall branding. Since you're the branding guru, Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, I do like the use of the green. Again, that really comes down to what are your competitors you're using. I mean, oftentimes I'll look at a color and be like, wow, that's a great color. I like this brand. And then you look at every other competitor, they all use the same palette, in which case you're just sitting around with the crowd. The website is nice and clean. They do use, the little accent colors. I think they could just be a little more bold. Overall, it kind of has a little bit of a muted sense to it. This gray header, that CTA area on the homepage that's gray. You could really use some darker blues and whatnot to really contrast both those colors. But overall, I mean, it looks all right. It doesn't particularly stand out. The typography is pretty standard. The logo, kind of looks a little standard. Doesn't have any, isn't super memorable, I would say. Pretty good. I mean, branding wise, solid C minus.
Okay, I would agree on that one. I guess let's talk about their overall copywriting. You know what? We forgot the where to buy section. Let me just take a look at this. All right, so let's see here. If I want to view it by state, let's say I'm in California, hit search. Okay, and then I can, it's interesting, even though I searched for California, showing me a place in Oregon, or I guess Washington State. That's funny. Let's see, where was this place? This is in Oregon. It's odd that they. All right, so it is a scrollable map. Oh, but I can't. That's kind of frustrating, right? If I'm in the map, oh, I want to see how far, oh, they're in San Diego. We're in San Diego. Are they exactly? I want to click on that. I want it to be taken to Google Maps or get more information on this supplier. So I'm kind of left here. That doesn't give me much of anything. So I'm going to have to go into Google, copy and paste this name, go into Google, figure it out. Again, like you said, it's another roadblock to me trying to find the information quickly. So,
yeah, exactly. If you need to drive there, especially on mobile, people expect to click an address, and sometimes phones will do that. They'll read that it's an address and do it, but you do want to make sure that's set up properly, especially, in areas like this. Yeah, and big old map integration. Map is very zoomed out. It's not really telling me a lot. It's really tall for some reason. It's like kind of hugely tall. It feels like all these proportions are way different. I feel like if you have a map, you generally want it either square or long ways, and then you list all this information below. So yeah, it's just a little awkward, honestly.
it is. It's definitely a little awkward. Product search did work well though. I forgot to mention that. So it came right up when I was like, if I knew the name of the product. So that's good.
Yeah, but I think way earlier you mentioned, you could get rid of it to save space. That's something I would recommend they look into their analytics. How many people are actually using search? If it is, maybe their audience really likes a good search, in which case that should be the main thing on the homepage. You should have a big old search bar like Amazon, right? We have a client that the main way of finding some very complicated products that have very similar names is a search bar. So make it prominent. But if the people aren't using it, honestly get rid of it. As long as the one thing I will say is it does work well. It does work how I intend it, and that's good because bad search is really bad. And it takes some skill to do search really well. I mean, Google's around for that particular reason.
Yeah, let's type in dark field and see what happens here. Okay. So this is interesting. I type in dark field and then it brings in a bright field. Just like that. I bet you it's just searching for the word field. And
yeah, it might. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
But at least, I mean, it is bringing in dark field products. So, and it works pretty snappily, honestly, overall with the product area.
And you and I both know that doing search well on a website is very, very hard. People have the
very
expectation.
difficult.
Yeah. I mean, we expect it to work like Google, but Google's an amazing company and has billions of dollars behind it. To do search on a simple, catalog website is hard to do well, actually. So, all right. So let's give our overall ratings on the site. Oh, you know what? Last thing I forgot to talk about is copywriting. There's not a lot of text on this site.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be pretty simple. None of it really stood out to me. It was just very descriptive, and that's at least good. If you don't have a professional copywriter, just say exactly what you mean, right? Don't get flowery, don't get jargony. You know, like on the homepage, that finding the perfect product for your application. You know, obviously product names you want to be very accurate. But yeah, I mean, nothing really stood out to me copy wise. I can't remember kind of a single real headline on their website or anything like that. And you know, really the only thing that I would ding them on is that a lot of this stuff, it's the micro copy. Like, this is great. Contact a sales professional. I know exactly what I'm going to do. But again, at the bottom of every page, there is that start your journey, which brings you to a products page. So this is micro copy that's going to be much more annoying to a user than a perfectly crafted headline will.
Yeah.
So
agreed. All right, so let's go back to overall ratings. So I think overall good content, meaning product photography, product descriptions, you know, the charts were excellent. I thought, you know, when I delved in, they had case studies. We find a lot of manufacturers don't even have case studies, so that's great. So content wise, I'd give it an A. Overall website in terms of site flow, hierarchy, the way it was organized, I'd give it a, I don't know, say a D. I'm pretty rough though with my grading.
yeah, I would say overall here, I would probably go with a D plus or a C minus though. Again, it's the content, but finding that content is very hard, right? It is a very chaotic site that has a lot of inconsistencies in its design and its structure and where it brings you on pages. And I honestly, once you get to the product page, it's you know, pretty nice, but overall, I would say it's a little difficult finding what you want, and I probably would have left this site because of that a little while ago if I really was trying to do my research. So
yeah, or
yeah,
I'd probably I'd probably call them. I'd just be like, oh, I'm frustrated with this. Let me just call somebody and see if I can have them help
yeah, or you do the old Command W and close the tab. So
and try to find the competition, see if they have a better site.
right, exactly. So yeah, I think in that case, it's just too much chaos and too much inconsistency in how they're doing things to really make this website. But again, it could be easily an A+ website. There's so much content on this thing. I imagine it does pretty well with SEO. I imagine it is very informative for the people that can find the content that they want. It's just getting them there.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. So why don't you take us out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, everybody, thanks for watching. We love doing these weekly website reviews. Obviously, we could get a little better with the scheduling, but what can you do? If you have any good information on these pages, or if you have comments, if you have your own opinions on this, please give a like, put a comment below, and obviously subscribe to our channel. We love getting this information out there. We believe very wholeheartedly at Lform that a educated client is a good client. So yeah, thanks very much and take care.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.